For people who don't know, Pocono has had a pretty poor history within IndyCar. Pocono, otherwise known as the Tricky Triangle, returned to IndyCar in 2013, after being absent since 1989. Between 2015 and 2020, there were 3 serious crashes, one in 2015 that unfortunately saw Justin Wilson's death, one in 2018 that saw Wickens' life-threatening injuries, and the most recent one in 2019, which saw a large pile-up on lap 1, luckily with no serious injuries. So why were there so many controversial incidents at this seemingly standard-looking oval? Well, tri-oval. That's what we are going to discuss in this short video today. Before we get into it, we have merch. I spent hours upon hours designing graphics and setting up the website to get this out for you lot, so if you are interested in picking some up, I would really appreciate it if you had a look. We do shirts to hoodies to hats to teddy bears and pretty much anything else you can think of, all with some pretty awesome graphics. So if you'd like to support the channel, head over to the link in the description and have a look. Now to Pocono. So firstly, we must discuss the infrastructure. The infrastructure is incredibly outdated to the point where it was also a concern in the 80s. The track's safety standards were simply not good enough, and geographically it faced rough conditions as well, including hurricanes, etc. In the aftermath of the crash in 2019, images appeared to show repairs being made by zip tying a spare gate over the damaged fence. This was quite frankly unacceptable, since the drivers risked their lives on even the safest of tracks, let alone ones with poor safety standards. I wouldn't have even been surprised if a car managed to rip straight through the catch fence and land on the outside of the raceway. Over the track intercom in 2019, it was reported that photographers near the scene were helping to pick carbon fiber out of the fence. Man, I did not think this could get any worse. The disappointing part is the fact that I loved watching IndyCar race at Pocono. The races were always intense and unpredictable, which is something that every fan wants to see. What fans don't want to see, however, is a serious accident every time the series visits the track. Justin Wilson's death in 2015 was tragic, and same with Robert Wickens' accident in 2018. It can't be happening. I suppose the general nature of the track doesn't help. The straights are incredibly wide, allowing many cars to travel side by side. However, this then tightens up quickly into the banked corners, which often gives drivers nowhere to go if they've already committed to a line. This made racing pretty risky, but in a sense, that is why it was so awesome to watch. However, safety should come before a cool overtake every day of the week. IndyCar didn't really have a choice but to drop the event from the 2020 schedule. And I mean, to be fair, with the pandemic and that, this was done pretty seamlessly. The series faced an influx of backlash on social media in 2019 as fans questioned the morality of the directors to allow drivers to race here. Many drivers refused to race here again after that lap 1 pileup, including James Hinchcliffe, who made his opinions very clear in an interview upon being released from the medical centre. Bear in mind, Hinchcliffe was in a bad accident 2 years in a row. I suppose it's easy to argue that big crashes can occur at any racetrack in any discipline. Yeah, they are wild coincidences, but the circuit never made an effort to prevent anything dangerous from happening again, which is the main issue in my opinion. Motor racing is dangerous, but there are factors that can soften crashes to a certain extent. These were unfortunately borderline absent at Pocono. I'm not trying to sound like a Karen, because trust me, I really did like Pocono. But these world-class drivers risk their lives every week, so we may as well ensure that the tracks are as safe as possible. There was a real 50-50 split with fans regarding the removal of the track, with half of the people insisting that it must be removed, and the other half believing that it's just part of racing. So yeah, it was certainly a controversial topic. Anyway, here we are in 2022. IndyCar no longer race at the Tricky Triangle due to dangers surrounding the track. That's all I really have to say about Pocono. I could have easily milked a 10-minute video on this topic, but I'd rather keep it as bite-sized content since I got my message across without any boring waffle. If you all enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel, and if you do so, I will see you all in the next video. But until then, take care, and thank you very much for watching. And buy the merch.